Should we just go?
No, I think...
All right, you stay there.
Where's my bag? Right. Nobody panic! Stop panicking! It's just a drill!
Okay, we're going to talk today about knives and why knives have a rounded tip.
Oh, God. Just take me now.
Take you now.
Take me now. Please.
Oh, okay.
Please just take me now. We're really going to talk about this.
It's so bloody rude.
Was that rude?
And I bet you, after the break, when we come back and I tell you, you'll go, oh, no, actually, that's actually quite interesting.
Excuse me? What impression was that?
So we're talking about knives, and if you look at a standard table knife that you would use to eat breakfast, lunch or dinner with, you'll notice that at the top it's got a round tip.
Give me one now, I'll shove it in my neck.
I'll shove it in your neck.
I'm joking. Go
Whereas
on.
if you look at a steak knife, if you go and order a steak, you get a pointed knife, yes?
Yeah.
You know what a steak knife looks like?
Yes.
Well, all knives basically used to look like steak knives with the rounded point, up until, we believe, the court of Louis XIV, who was so scared of assassination that he ordered all his knives to be sent off and rounded at the top, and then everyone copied suit, which is why knives have a rounded point on the top.
That's actually really interesting. Oh, no.
And thus proves my point.
That's actually really interesting.
But point, boom, boom. But also, people used to use knives as well to sort of like stab a piece of meat and then take it from serving plate to their plate. So, but also people don't do that now. So
Is that bad manners?
it's very bad manners, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I mean,
That was good.
it's interesting.
That was good. Yeah.
Could you not manspread, please, in front of me? You just pushed back and thrust your crotch towards me minutes after saying, take me now. So
Get that on TikTok. Okay,
All
listeners'
right.
questions, please.
This one is from Daniel. Greetings, William and Jordan. I've recently discovered your podcast on TikTok, of all places.
Oh.
Since then, I've watched all of your videos, followed you on all socials, and I'm currently binge listening to all past episodes until I'm caught up.
Don't worry, we won't be putting the knife points on TikTok. It's only the best content we do from the episode.
I am going to absolutely punch you in the windpipe in a minute. Back to Daniel's letter. I'm not sure if producer Ben is still currently with the show. Sadly, no. But if
He's died.
he's not dead. He's there.
You texted me earlier. Oh, yeah. In spirit.
He's back. He's back with us. Back from the dead. By the way, I'm from the Philippines, and sadly, Debonne is not available here, so I've yet to become a true G& diva. On to my concern. I'm currently in a relationship going on its first year. After being out of work for a couple of months, my girlfriend recently started a new job. All is fine until a guy who reports to her attempted to flirt with her. She has recently made it clear that she is in a relationship to the point that her entire department knows who I am. Still, this particular co-worker asked if her someone made their intentions known, if she would give it a chance. She told him no, and that she knows that it is wrong and she loves me very much. Every story she tells me of him has me up in fumes because he does not seem to understand that she is in a relationship, and more basically, the boundaries of a manager-employee relationship. He recently sent her a good night message with a kissy wink emoji. Ooh. I told my girlfriend that if he does not stop, I will talk to his wife. My girlfriend told me not to do so as she does not want any trouble. I can see how this can be quite the scandal if it ever gets out in her office, but he does not seem to care. I promise to let her handle it. My question is, what is the proper etiquette for saying no to a persistent suitor? And also, would you care to dispense advice on how I should deal with it? Cheers, boys. Regards, Daniel.
Daniel, what you want to do is you want to go around there with a pointed knife edge, not a curved one.
A steak knife. Or one that was
joking.
created before Louis XIV.
I'm joking. This is a tough one. Well, first of all, he sounds bang out of order.
Yes. I think all you can do is just tell your girlfriend how it is making you feel and how inappropriate it is, and say that she needs to have a word. But I appreciate and
oh shit! Is that a test? Sorry, Daniel. Oh, we might have to come back to this.
Daniel,
what I was going to say, Daniel, was because I
no, we might burn to death.
No, what I was going to say, seriously, is I think that you might have to speak to him.
Jordan, we need to go.
No, I think Daniel needs to speak to the guy. It's either wait outside of work one day, or DM him, or send an email, maybe an email.
Should we just go?
No, I think.
All right, you stay there.
Where's my bag? Right. Nobody panic! Stop panicking! It's just a drill. Where's my brace? I need my brace. Where's my brace? Right, we've not burned alive. We're all good. Anyway, Daniel, like I was saying.
It's safe. The only thing that's flaming in this studio.
Okay, Daniel, I think you need to email the guy and just say, I know what you're doing. And yeah, I would. That's my advice.
No, I think your girlfriend has to just keep making reference to her boyfriend. If she feels able to call the person out, then do that privately. Go to HR if needs be. But I appreciate culturally this can be difficult. So maybe, I mean, it sounds awful to say, suggest your girlfriend she gets a new job, but that might sadly be the only way to do it.
Them win. Also, seriously, if there is a fire alarm in your building, where you work and stuff, leave straight away. Don't pretend to be panicking and start looking for your brace. Seriously.
Have I ever told you? I think I've teased this. Have I done this fire story of when we actually I did actually have a fire in Manchester? I think you know this story, but I don't think I've ever done it on the podcast.
Come on.
I feel a fire alarm is a perfect segue into this story.
Tell.
So, Mike and
this episode's all over the place anyway, so...
Mikey and I had only just started going out, so we didn't live with me. And I had...
Where did Mikey live?
He was in Newcastle. Why I?
Had a good job up there, George. Good site, that. Yeah, we built Tyne Bridge, if you've seen it. Yeah.
And so I had living with me at the time our friend Daryl, briefly. And
that's, yeah.
That time.
So that's when I'd moved. That would have been 2014?
It was 2015.
Oh, okay.
And Lucas, my former luxury flatmate, previously on this podcast back in the early days called John, but now outed as Lucas.
Well, that's back when the flat was like a knocking shop, weren't it?
He moved to the building next door, and he had come over for a drink. So Daryl, he and I were having very manly drinks up in my sitting room, which was a raised area. It was on a mezzanine.
I remember it.
Yeah. And we're sitting there. It was about 6 o'clock at night. It was October.
What were you drinking?
Gin and tonic, or actually, ironically, it possibly was a gin and debonnaire. Okay. And so long before this podcast. And we just hear this I heard it like a pop, almost like, Tupperware click and lock. You know when you lock the Tupperware? I heard that noise and I thought, that's an odd noise coming from the hall. So I leave them chatting and I go just to check on what it is. And I go into the laundry cupboard in the hall and I open the laundry cupboard door and the electrics up from the sort of the back of the washing machine up into the wall are on fire.
I remember this.
Quite a serious fire.
Where'd you get your kicks, Ben? Casualty.
And the pop was the noise of wires burning. So it becomes a little bit like an episode of Fawlty Towers there, and I just stand on the hall going, fire! Fire! And Lucas and Daryl, well, recollections may vary, but I didn't feel they rushed. So they come, and Lucas, to be fair, was brilliant. And Lucas realised it's an electrical fire, so thus you need to throw powder on it. He's like, first of all, you need to turn the electrics off. Where's the fuse box? It's in that cupboard that's on fire. So Lucas, bless him, he surrenders himself, climbs up the sort of the cupboards, the laundry cupboards, to flick all the lights off. So because it's now 6:15 at night in October, it's very dark. So we can't really see what we're doing, other than the light of the fire. Daryl, I think, phones the fire brigade. I'm there, and my gut instinct was to save the napkins, because they were in the cupboard. And Daryl and Lucas will tell you that I was there removing my linens.
Are you joking?
I also thought they're quite flammable. Not to mention antique. And so... It gets worse because Lucas then goes, right, what have you got that's any powder? I said, how about kitchen flour in the kitchen? Perfect for baking. So Lucas goes into the kitchen. Now, all my flours, as you may know, and still to this day, are in identical plastic tubs. But they're labelled, 00 flour.
I mean, does it matter if it's self-raising or plain?
Well, turns out, yes, it does, because self-raising flour has bicarbonate of soda in it, which is what makes it raise. And that's the one Lucas grabbed rather than plain flour. But Lucas didn't know it was self-raising, and also didn't know at the time that self-raising flour had bicarbonate of soda in it. So he throws this on the fire, And the fire goes,
No.
nearly singes Lucas's eyebrows. The fire is still going, but we did end up with a lovely rustic loaf, which was nice. And anyway, the fire brigade came very quickly.
Oh, really?
Relatively quickly. And if they had been, as with most fires, if they had been 2 minutes later, because I was on the top floor, and the entire sort of, once it goes up above my ceiling, all the flats on that floor are connected in effect. The whole of the top floor would have gone. So they dealt with it. They had to smash through walls. I mean, Mikey didn't. He was moving in the week after, and he actually moved into the hotel we were then put in, rather than into the flat. And yeah, so that was the fire.
Jesus. So what if you were out?
Quite. And literally 3 days before, I was in China for work. So thank God I was there when I was. But what I also remember was once the fire brigade went and Daryl, Lucas and I were walking around the flat, sort of, and it's absolute chaos. What was amazing is that when I then went onto the balcony, the firemen had been smoking on the balcony. We don't need more bloody smoke.
Only in Manchester would some
They just
firemen
left their cigarettes.
would some firemen put your fire out and go, I'm just going for a fag, all right? Yeah, we're 2 minutes, pal. Yeah, it's all right, that.